All right, Zachariah. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I got your email, so I'm glad you're getting started on this. Excited to work with you. Hopefully you can make the commitment to work together on this. There is quite a process. I've trained several assistants to help me with this over the years, and um, it takes a little bit of practice to get this really going. It usually takes a couple weeks before you're really starting to feel comfortable comping the properties, and that is the hardest part is comping the properties. So I'm just going to kind of just shoot a quick video on um, really just a high level, quick get started guide to pulling properties, comping them, and then send them to me. And then I'll check them. If they look good, I'll send them back to you. Or I'll just really just shoot a video correcting the ones that need to be corrected, giving you thumbs up on the ones you did right, and then have you shoot off the contracts. So I'm going to stop this. I'm going to jump into just pulling a few properties. Actually, I'll just go ahead and do this now. So I'll pull a few properties. So we'll just go to our save search. Let's just do this. Market update. Looks like you did some yesterday. I'm just going to pull maybe 622 plus. Let's see if that gets me anything here. Yeah, so all right. So I always go to thumbnail, and you went through that. It's pretty easy finding properties. What we're going through and we're looking for properties that need to be updated. This one's actually pretty clean. It's borderline. So I'll go ahead and check it. I'm going to go through. I'm going to pull like 2 or 3 properties real fast, and I'm going to get back to you. All right. So just picked out a couple properties here. So we're just exporting them. Export. Doing a full export. Export it. Open it up. So I've got 2 properties. Control A. Copy. And then we're just going to paste it into our spreadsheet. Wrong one. I'll be right back. All right, so we're just pasting here at the L line. Paste. First line, so here's my first 2 properties, and we're just trying to plug in ARVs, which automatically calculates our purchase price. All right, so now this is where you're going to use the checklist. I never use this anymore, and after a few weeks you won't have to refer to this either, but it's a quick, get started guide here on how to comp out properties. So we're just going to go through and we're going to check in this. So we're going to type in the address. We're going to check on this property. We're going to look at the subject property's pictures. Does it need a lot of work? If it's a trailer, if it's a mobile home, just delete it. We're not going to mess with it. If the property is really bad, if it's a scrape, we're just going to delete it. If it's a multifamily or condo or townhouse, we actually do look for condos and townhouses, but if it's a multifamily, just delete it. Zoom in on map. Does it face to a busy street? If it's on a busy street, we just delete it. We don't mess with busy streets. Is it close to a major highway? Does it have noise pollution? If it does, delete it. Is it next to commercial buildings? If it does, delete it. If it's on a huge lot, just take notice of that. Doesn't mean delete it, but we definitely want to take notice of that when we're doing it. Actually, that sometimes is good because we can split those lots and make other money different ways. So and then we're going to draw a square around that property. We're going to check the actives under contract sold, detached single family, put in a square foot range, and delete the address. So I'm going to do that real fast. So just real fast, I clicked active pending and close. They actually changed that since I made this training. Single family, that's the only houses we want to look at. I deleted the address out of the box because we no longer need that. I put in a square foot range. So on the spreadsheet, you'll see this total square foot for this property is 940 square foot. So anything, so I just put in a 0 to 1300 to get a range of square foot because we don't want to look at anything much bigger than 1300 square foot because it's really not a true comp. Like this one right here, that's 2100 square foot. I'll probably put in a range of like 1,800 to 2,400 square foot. So we want to look at the range of houses that have that square foot. So let's go ahead and go to the map. Looks like we got 18 matches. And then I'm going to start taking a look at these properties. This is Chase Street. Now, this is good to notice that right away we've got one or two that are lower priced. I do pay attention to those. This one's only 500 square foot, so I'm not going to pay a lot of attention to that one. But this J Street, I am going to take a look at that one too. It's 1,000 square foot. They want nearly 40,000 less than the one that we're looking at. So it's definitely one we want to pay attention to. And sometimes I'll just download those right along with this one if I've already figured the ARV of the area, and just put it right into the spreadsheet, make an offer on that one too. So let me pause this and take a quick look at this. All right, so I actually went back in time a little bit on the criteria. So this is something you'll learn as you go along. I didn't have real good comps close to this one. They were kind of all over here. And so on the criteria, I bumped the closed properties back to a year. Not ideal, but if you're struggling to find comps, that's what you're going to want to do, and you're going to learn that. But anyways, this is for the purpose of this video. I just quickly came up with a value of like 460. So I just plugged in 460 here. This gives us a purchase price of 324, and that's probably what we're going to run with. So in this, I noticed this property down here for 359 I mentioned a minute ago. So I'm going to take a closer look at this one real fast because this one looks a little more interesting. All right, so this J Street property is of a little more interest to me. It is kind of a flat roofed house, which I'm not super keen on. Anytime there's kind of an abnormal part of a property that's not kind of a template cookie cutter of other houses in the neighborhood, sometimes creates a problem. But let's go ahead and make an offer on it anyways, so you see. But I just kind of looked around here, and there's this 429, there's this 390. It's kind of okay shape. But after kind of looking at these properties in here, there's this 425, there's 429, there's this 390 that was pretty decent. I'm just going to split it, and I'm going to go with a 410. So let me pause this real fast. Actually, is that the only one I've got checked? Yep, so I'm going to export this guy. We'll export, open him up. I'm going to paste him into the spreadsheet. So put him into the spreadsheet here. Get rid of the header line. What did I come up with? 410. And so that gives us an offer price of 289. So I'm going to go ahead and look at this last one, and then that's it. I just want to kind of get you going to make an offer. So let me take one more look, and I'll be right back. All right, so this next property I pulled up here. You can quickly see that we've got some commercial behind here. Now, commercial is finicky. Like, we don't always delete commercial, but for now, I definitely want you to be flagging it. This one, I went ahead and just Googled it and was taking a look to see what kind of commercials back there. It looks like we got a hearing rehab center and a church, which isn't terrible. Now, if this was a strip club or a gas station or a bar or something like that, that would make this a lot less desirable, right? Because there's just a lot of bad riffraff that comes along with that type of stuff. So, but a church, you can't go wrong there. Rehab center, I'd say let's go ahead and make an offer on it. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. So again, just putting my square foot range, pending single family homes, get rid of the address so we can see everything in there. And let's take a look at the results. Oops. We got 0 matches. Hang on a second. I had the wrong square footage in there. I don't know what I was reading there, but 2181 is a square foot. So I put in this range here. And this is not, anything you have to be spot on each time. This is kind of an estimate. So it's up to your discretion on what kind of range you want to put in there. But usually plus or minus, 300, 400, or 500 square foot is kind of the range you want to be in. Because you want to get, 15 houses or so plus. But if you have 80 houses, that's too much to really even look at. So looks like we got 17, so that's a pretty good number. And I want to do thumbnail. So actually no, I'm going to do single line. Where's my property at? It is Webster. So we're going to click the higher sold, see how they are in the area. So where's my property at? It's over here. So we got this 460 across the street. That's probably the first one I'm going to go to and take a look at. And already it looks pretty nice inside. It looks like it's pretty, has new mulch here. It's pretty well cleaned up. And then I like to get to the kitchen. Oh yeah, so we got granite, stainless steel appliances. This will be our comp probably. It's a little smaller at 440, closed at 460. It probably had to undervalue a little bit. I would say, you know, our house is a little bit bigger. So I would have no problem maybe going a little bit higher. So 460, maybe, you know, 470, 475, and 336 would be our offer. And yeah, so we're kind of in that range of houses. So anyways, so there we made, you know, you can continue to investigate a little bit more if you wanted to, but there's 3 offers right away. So I just kind of wanted to shoot a quick getting started guide. So once you do like 10 properties that you have comped out, send me the spreadsheet. I'll check them and critique them and give you ideas and pointers and point you towards trains that maybe you haven't looked at yet, or review things. That's how we're going to get you up to speed with making offers and making correct ARV pricing, so we can get correct offers out to these real estate agents. So hopefully that helps.